Yo, it's your boy OG Kenny. Welcome to another edition of Retired from the Streets podcast. Don't forget about me, TV. This is really a channel where we refuse to be forgotten, man. Like I always wanted to immortalize the things that I've done, and for years as a would-be filmmaker, people that somebody that was putting projects together with other people and following other people's dreams and supporting their dreams, especially with a camera. When I got my first cameraman, I was running behind everybody who was working and doing stuff for free. What I learned is I learned how to be in rooms now and let them know without any type of hesitation or fear of how they was going to feel about it, and say, look, yeah, I'm in this room because I definitely want to benefit from the relationships, but I also want to add value to relationships as well. 1 second. But I also wanted to add value to relationships as well. So my thing nowadays is know your value, right? Know your worth, and don't get no discounts, because people gonna pay for what they want to pay for, right? They're not gonna skimp on buying no Yeezys. They're not gonna skimp on buying no buffs. They're not gonna skimp on getting that, you know what I mean, them signature chains, they name, they number, you know what I mean, all that, they street numbers and all that on there. So when it comes to your services and your product, set your price, know your value, be realistic, and don't budge. This particular episode here is like, it touches on that a little bit. Now, if you recall in maybe a previous story or two, or if you're just tuning in and your first time hearing it, I do stories. I'm telling a lot of stories going back to my days in prison that are relevant to real life scenarios, that have a moral to them, where hopefully somebody grabs an antidote or something that I'm saying, a tidbit, and it enhances the quality of their life, and it keeps them out of prison or keep them out of bullshit, right? So when I first met my dude Skip Murder, Ivy Bowen, on the prison yard, I had just left Lakeland Correctional Facility. I hit G.R. Cotton Prison Yard. This was around this actually was 1998, the summer. I ended up becoming his personal security for a minute. During the course of that, we got real tight. But before that, and when we first met, he already had told me, or requested from me, that I hollered at my old dude, right? So that my old dude could send him a care package. Now, I didn't touch on the details of the business that my father was in. I'm a little under the weather, so you know how you hang out, running in and out the house with a t-shirt on, knowing that you're not supposed to. So my birthday was just not too long ago, and I was doing that, man. And then I got a little itchy throat, but then I did it again. So I think I'm a hot boy sometimes, so I got to calm down and do better. So let me get to it. At the time, Pops was real heavy, and I mean, all my life Pops had been heavy in the streets. You got to think this man had inherited over $1 million net worth at a very young age. So when him and my mother met, I was very young, and he embraced me as he is. He never treated me different, and he gave me the game. And every decision that I made that got me in trouble was contrary to things that he would have me do. Because he always told me a smoother way. I just wanted to do things my way, because I got tired of living under his shadow, right? Because he was a legend, a giant in the streets. I don't think anybody who would comment on this video, anybody who subscribed to this channel, anybody who liked or shared any content from me would say anything different, who knew him for real. Honestly, I've heard more great things about my father than bad things, and I've sat back and heard dudes discussing, like I've discussed before, my father's murder investigation was the first time the first 48 hit Detroit. To me, as far as me understanding what the first 48 was in Detroit, I've seen them other places. I've never seen a Detroit story personally. So if I'm wrong, correct me, but I've never seen a Detroit murder being covered before my father, and that's not nothing to glorify. I'm just saying as far as what I think is the facts of the situation. Now, him being so heavy in the streets and individuals hearing about him who have still been incarcerated, but people coming back like, hey, bro out there doing this thing. Just like he said he would. You got dudes who like, man, listen, tell your pops to holler at me. Put me down. So a situation happened on the visiting room once that had got orchestrated from a few people that were incarcerated who had family in the streets who were heavy in the game, as well as being, I don't want to say what nationality or ethnicity. I will say that they were either first or second generation immigrants, right? And they had a nice bag, and they were into like the fitness scene. I'll say that much. Boom. Now, they had an impromptu meeting on the visiting room. My father, some of these individuals that were incarcerated, they were family members with, and the ones who were from the street. So we all sat down, and as well as, I mean, I didn't have nothing to do with it, but just being amongst the mix of it, we all sat down, as well as the family members of two other brothers. So you got to figure it's 4 families out there all sitting in the same area, and they low-key discussing numbers, what it's going to look like and what it's going to take to make this happen, and who's responsible for what. So let's just say this much, right? I remember at the time I had probably just leveled up from being Skip Murder's personal to being Jamal X's assistant palace administrator, which meant that I would assist him in the board meetings, the lesson plan for the following Saturday, the speeches, going out and making sure every brother had their speech ready, and then figuring out what the topic was going to cover so that he could prepare properly, like transitional speeches and all this type of stuff, right? Because the whole purpose of being in Atlantic, like I said, was to uplift the nation. It was nation building time for us. And you got to understand, it takes finances to raise a nation. You can't raise a nation without finances. And what we knew then in that environment was to sound crazy, but it was a market for what we were supplying. So we looking at it like, okay, let's corner this market. Let's send money home to our people. Let's get these bills paid. Let's get these lawyer fees paid so that we can get brothers up out of here by any means. And as long as we were not hurt nobody, and as long as people were willing participants in what we had to offer. Whether we were right or wrong, to somebody else's viewpoint, that's up to you to decide. Comment in the comment section and let me know how you feel about that. I will say this much: I've matured out of that mentality, and I ain't moved the bag and sold no dope since 2005. So, that bag touched. It was crazy. I was the Ways and Means director, or the assistant Ways and Means director. I was up under Bunny Brown next. I believe he was the Ways and Means director. I was right up under him. And Bunny X thing was, bro, don't do nothing crazy. Be smooth. I had stores in every level 2 unit, which was about 8 units. Every level 3 unit. We did. I ain't gonna say I did. We did. I was overseeing the finances for probably upwards of, because you gotta think 2, 3, and 4. Because level 1 had their own independent things. Most of them was going home, like soon. But 2, 3, and 4, most of us was locked in for a minute, and we had a bag moving through that boy that was upwards of like 40 bands street value, or prison value. Let's say that much, because on the street, a 40 band prison haul could be worth, depending on what you get it for on the streets. You can go spend 4 bands in the streets and come to the joint with it and pro that boy up some crazy numbers. I'm talking about $4,000. You talking about sometimes a 10 times markup on the price, and then the cut on it, especially if you got something that's real, like quality. Yeah, so it was a lot of money rotating through that bad boy. Now, the disappointing thing was that the dude, and I'm not gonna name him either, the dude that got the bag pop was supposed to have been a good brother, and he was a Mobile. You know what I mean? He's my Mobile brother. And like y'all know, I'm from the Jeffries. Most of my homies down there are Moorish Americans, so it ain't nothing against the Moors, because every organization got their upright brothers, and then they got a few that's, garbage. that's just had up under the banner to benefit from it, right? In one way or another, whether it's protection, whether it's eating noodles every week or whatever, right? On pork day, you get a noodle. So you got dudes that join and then what's deep about the Moors, what I love about the Moors, and as a matter of fact, I don't want to talk about the history of the Moors or how the Moors rotate. I got a homeboy and a brother man of mine, and I mean, you know, it's just solid. Like, he from the hood. I got mad love for him, and I'm watching him do his thing, and I want y'all to check his channel out, Petty Tupac TV. Yeah, you go to Petty Tupac TV. He'll give you more in-depth information about the Moabites and the Moors, right? But I think this individual didn't need, I mean, because the Moors really embrace brothers. You want to better your life, they were less strict, you know what I mean, than some of the other organizations. So they were sometimes more prone on certain locations to dudes who worked for the right thing, you know what I mean? And they had to kind of like discuss things with brothers to see what side they wanted to be on, upright and righteousness, or what you gonna be on, garbage and folly. When we got to the point where we found out who said something, we had dudes already locked up in the hole. We had dudes with $300 stores locked up in the hole. So we got a lot of money that's being lost, a lot of product that got lost. And mind you, I stayed really away from it. Skip gave me a couple of packs at one time to say, look, this broke, come on. I'm like, no, I'm straight. My account good. You know what I mean? Because you got to think, the guy who putting this in here laying with my mom every night. So I don't need nothing. I'm straight. I didn't find no real glory in trying to push no bag in there. It was cool. It wasn't until later on in my biz when Pops got killed and I went back to prison, I had to buckle down the grind and have my own bag in institutional settings. But you got to think, right? I'm watching a lot of dudes that I looked up to in service, supporters and brothers, nodding in service off that dog food. You know what I mean? And I was just thinking at first, I'm so naive at the time and so green that these dudes just tired, man. We get up early. We got to be there at 7 or whatever time it was, early as hell. Nobody want to be there this early, but this is the time they giving us to have our service in, so we got to take advantage. I seen a lot of dudes change, and I don't want to say whether these was their first time using or whether they relapsed, but both of them bothered me. And I learned from that situation there when I seen all these dudes fall into the wayside. Prime example, right? I got a dude who he's a elder, right? Big homie and whatnot. Hold on, my niece text calling me. I watched this dude, like, you gotta think, he in the first cube, 15 feet or so from the guard's desk, and it's a wall and it's his cube. This dude in there nodding. He gonna remain nameless because he in another story about I found out he was a booty bandit too, but at the time I didn't know. He was just an OG that was respected on the yard, and a lot of dudes looked up to him. This dude was nodding so bad, he got so many stamps, mailing stamps, right? Mailing stamps is going for like 25 cents a piece. You get 100 of them bad boys, that was $25. And he got stacks of them stamps on his bed, on his desk, as well as a few packs of dog food. And he's sitting there like this, and I'm trying to call his name. I'm hitting him with his nickname, which I ain't gonna say. But right, this dude, like, I had to take and go in there and grab all his stuff up. I got to grab all his shit. I take and I stuff it in a pair of socks and wrap it and stuff it. Boom, put it in his dirty laundry, tie it up, and I lay him down. I get the hell on. Now at the time I got a busy schedule. I'm doing a lot. I'm helping Jamal X with the speech throughout the week. You feel what I'm saying? I'm doing lesson plans with him. I'm working out. I'm taking classes. I'm reading books. I'm rotating the yard with dudes. I got a lot going on. So I forget when I seen, like, because he didn't wake up till like the next afternoon. But when I finally seen him, I see he in the day room with his mean mug on. Right? He disgruntled, he fussy, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, my baby probably blow. I'm like, oh, right, I forgot about. So I end up pulling him to the side, like, man, look, whoop. You know, yesterday, this, that, and the other, man, I had to lay you down, I had to put your socks, that one, it's going to be fat. That's what, oh, man, he hugged me so tight. Oh, man. Ah, man. Damn, bro, you a lifesaver. Ah, dang, he said y'all was doing what? I'm like, yeah. You was all the way there, you hear me? Head to the knees, looking crazy. So my thing is, hold on, it's my beloved. I'm about to answer this, y'all, if y'all don't mind. While I'm recording, I'm going to answer this. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam, brother. You recording?
I'm recording right now. It's funny. I'm telling them about this story about how Pops had dropped the bag and on us, and we had a tsunami wave of bag in there. The bag was crazy, bro. And one of my old heads was nodding off that pack, and I laid him down and got him secured. But the whole moral of this episode is, bro, I made that connection with them dudes, and I end up being disappointed. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This my dude network. This my dude Finkel work. It's funny because me and him got an episode coming up about thrill kill. We were just teasing it like yesterday, talking about it. So when y'all tap in future episodes, this my bro, Finkel work. He got the Talking Chicken Network and merch and all that going on. So yeah, but he gonna be most definitely on that thrill kill episode. Me and him gonna knock that out. Yup, bro. But yeah, I was in the middle of filming this, bro.
Okay, go ahead, brother. Take care of your business. I'll hit you back.
I'm gonna call you as soon as I'm wrapping up. I'm about to do the close out and give him the moral story and whatnot. I'm gonna call you right back. All right, bro. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Good brother. Met him when I was incarcerated on the yard. We've been locked in since. I had to answer that because I usually don't answer, right? But I felt horrible about how I connected people. Somebody connected us. My business partner, who was squeezing the pay to play. All these years later, he plugged us in, and me and him been like big bro and little bro since. I made that connection, not to say that that bag wouldn't have touched without me having to say so in it, right? But you got to think. Look how conspiracies work, right? If your man's doing something, right? You make a phone call for him, plug him in with somebody, anything like that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be in a dragnet in that conspiracy with him. So you just as culpable of some of the stuff he's doing as if you were a principal. That's like if I kill somebody and I got an accessory. My thing is, I became an accessory at that time to madness and chaos on the yard, bro. I'm seeing dudes come out their bag, bro, right, and turn from kings to addicts, right? You know, now I say reverse fiends to willies. You know what I mean? These was willies to fiends, bro, and I'm like, damn, these dudes legends, kingpins, you know. And it made me think about how they played the Black Panther legacy, how all that time Huey P. Newton them put in feeding the breakfast program, right? Fred Hampton died for it. I'm looking at Soul on Ice. When you think about like Eldridge Cleaver, you think about Angela Davis and her relationship with George Jackson and how you saying like, hey, the Panthers is soft. I'm not saying they soft, because I got some OG Panthers I love, but I'm saying the legacy was tarnished somewhat with drug use. That's a fact. Huey P. Newton died probably addicted to drugs and a deal going wrong, if I ain't mistaken, right? And I'm looking at how the Atlantics were found. My brothers, we studied the Gangster Disciples. Matter of fact, Kaleem Oglesby, aka Lil O, and Larry Hoover were pen pals for quite a minute, you know. And Lil O was our executive spiritual advisor. So when we studied the Gangster Disciples, the Nation of Islam, the counterintelligence program, and J. Edgar Hoover, and we know that his purpose was to neutralize any black messiah that had the potential to electrify the masses, right? And to get them up out of that slump mentally and spiritually that they was in. We knew his plan. We know and understand the doctrine of the Moorish science and the Nation of Islam, right? And the Sunni Muslims. So our thing was, let's take some of each organization and create our own organization. It's like the Marines, the few, the proud, the brave, right? It hurt my heart to see some of my brothers going through what they're going through. Not to say that it was a lot more brothers. You got to understand, we're talking about a handful of brothers. Out of 40 brothers, maybe about 5 or 6, but the pain still felt the same because we were all supposed to be in one accord, and I was so gung-ho for everything. You understand what I'm saying? My thing was that my problem and where I came in at fault was making that connection between my pops and those brothers in there and getting that bag in. And I think it was a blessing that it got popped the way it did. And I know a lot of brothers pay legal fees and all that, but it was just the toll that it took on some of them brothers was it wasn't worth the money that was involved. So I say that to say that you have to watch the connections that you make. You think you're doing a good thing. You look at Kaleem's Biggs, Jay-Z and Dame Dash's partner and co-founder of Rockefeller Records. This dude did a Fed bid for connecting people on the business level. He think he's doing the right thing. He just connecting people, and I told y'all in the previous story that my dude Clifford McKee, all he did was make a phone call or connect to his nephew with a dude. Like, he needs you to do something. He get caught up and now he doing life. He doing life right now. And I need to talk to my baby and hopefully get him on one of these episodes, because I want to talk to a lot of you young and old brothers and sisters who think shit sweet. And you out here just making connections and networking with people. You get caught up in a lot of bull stuff, a lot of garbage, trying to be the middle person and just trying to get your bag and get your little tools and fruits. Because that wasn't the first or last time I connected people and shit went wrong. That's just one of the things that's more relevant to this channel and this station. And if you find value or interest in any of these stories, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, share, eventually become a channel member. I say a lot of things that I say to y'all because I'm talking to myself too. And in retrospect and looking back in hindsight, even in trying to be a righteous individual, I saw fault in myself and I'm looking to correct those things. I don't connect people no more. You want to find out who do what, you got to holler at him yourself. You want to figure out where it's at and all that, you got to do your research, bro. I don't know no more, bro. I don't know. I get my bag a whole different way now. I got kids. Well, I got a kid and she got a little sister that I call like my baby. You understand what I'm saying? I got nieces. I got nephews. I got kids. I got a mother, who getting up there in age. I got me. You know what I mean? So I want everybody to be mindful of being the connector, being the person that say, hey, y'all two should link up, because especially if it's for the wrong thing. And I'm going to specify that, especially if it's for the wrong thing. If it's for the wrong thing, you most definitely don't want to be connecting people, because when you do and it's for the wrong thing and they go bad and you get your ass caught up in it, ain't no calling God and ain't no calling mama. You got to bite that bullet and sit down, homeboy or homegirl. I don't care how old you are, or how long you avoided the streets, or how smart you've been thus far. If you in garbage and you constantly hearing the right thing, that means you know better. The problem with a lot of people is it ain't that they just did some dumb ass shit. It's that you knew better already. You've been hearing truth and weird and real stuff being spit at you for the longest from people that know better. And you don't apply it. You don't listen to it, and then when something slap you in the face, now you're looking stupid or you feeling bad. Now you're depressed. Now you're at home drinking too much or smoking too much or sleeping too much or eating too much. I think we all deserve and need to tighten up. You understand what I'm saying? And watch how you start and watch who you put together around you, because everybody ain't for everybody. Just because it's your friend and this one is your friend don't mean they're going to be good friends together. They might need for you to be there with them to keep their friendship rotating and in balance. Right? And in this situation, I connected my pops, who was most definitely about whatever anybody was about. It was definitely about getting that bag, with somebody who was in prison, who told me, who told me at one point, bro, I'm tired. Who looked me in the eyes, and I don't think I told many people this. Skip Murder told me, I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. He got tired of going to dialysis, you understand what I'm saying, and a bunch of other stuff. And you put these two type of mentalities together, you're looking at damn James A. Patrick meets the Black Walter White, right? You understand what I'm saying? Somebody who got an incentive to push that bag, and somebody who got it and who really trying to transition into other things and different venues to be able to get the bag off better. I love y'all, man. As always, your boy OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny. Retired from the Streets podcast. Don't forget about me TV. Loved ones. Till next time.